expansive leadership. We're talking expanding your influence, developing your deep inner comfort, and beginning to lead, yes, you and your team, but also now you've expanded to leading your community. This is your social community. This is your professional community. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Marinda Nelson. I help healthcare providers do what they love what they do. And as you do that, people are going to want to follow you. So this is for you if you are in pre-leadership still. This is where you're a healthcare provider, you're maybe burned out, you don't really know quite what your next steps are. You're developing that clarity that actually, what do I love? What do I want? Who am I? You're answering and working on a lot of those questions. Okay. That's what I call pre-leadership. You're leading you in all of the parts of you. This training is for you if you are in the light leadership phase. This is where you're developing your confidence as a leader. You're leading your team. You have developed this clarity. You know what you want. You know how you want to get there. You know what you want it to feel like. A team has gathered around you and you're developing your confidence in you, in your authenticity, in your leadership, in that your dream is even possible. And that light leadership phase is from developing your team and getting it there, but it's also all the way to you've got the confidence and you're looking at what are the next steps. People are starting to ask you, how did you do it this time? So this applies to all of you. Okay. So stick around. Those of you that are wondering what next steps are, that are wondering, how do I grow this? This, what we're talking about today, is going to apply to all of you. Here's what happens. That work that you did in pre-leadership, answering all those questions, looking at what are next steps, what do I actually want? Who actually am I? What do I love? What is my fullest expression? What are my dreams and desires? What are my values? What really, really matters to me? When we start going through pre-leadership, light leadership, and into expansive leadership self, this is going to require precision and that self-confidence that you've developed, that self-trust that you've developed. It's going to require even more of also we upward spiral. So things that you worked on previously, places you're feeling insecure, places you're not feeling sure, places where people have told you you're not good enough, where people have told you that what you do doesn't matter. And they haven't told you potentially directly, but you've gotten this message within one way or another. Okay. And this is what help you sleuth out is see some of that so that you can do this work and refine it how you want it to be, because this is your dream practice, right? This is the work that you want to do and how you want it to feel. This isn't me telling you how to do it my way. Yes, there's processes that I have found that work well for people. And yes, there are, phases and there's a whole lexicon and a whole way that we do things around here. And it's your way. This is you developing your practice your way. And yes, it's a really personal journey, but there are questions that I can help guide you through and put in an order where you can develop this clarity, confidence, and internal comfort. Okay. So when you're going from asking yourself these beginning questions of what do I want? Yes, that matters at the beginning, and refining that as you go along. So maybe you bring in a new treatment to your practice. And after a while, you realize, you know what? Gosh, this isn't feeding what I love. I'm going to refine that. Okay. And then you feel like, well, I'm at this kind of practice. I'm supposed to have that. People have the expectation that I have that, but gosh, that just isn't for my patients and that just isn't how I want it to feel. And yes, that's like a supposed to thing, but there's other ways to do this that fit how I want it to feel better. Okay. So this is the refining that I'm talking about. This is your practice. You get to do what's for you. You get to weave. So as we're going into expansive leadership, coming back around to what I was coming back around to what I was saying, I get excited. As you come to expansive leadership, right? Now you're getting asked to mentor. Now you're getting asked to publish. You are leading some regional conversations. You're leading some specialty conversations. You're involved in the philanthropy that's important to you. You're involved in community organizations that are important to you. So all of these things that we work on at the beginning, that you are responsible for you and for your well-being. You are responsible for making your dreams come true. You get to matter. Your effort matters. These messages that are so important at the beginning in pre-leadership are equally, if not more important, to come back around in an up-leveled version of the question and with more precision, right? Instead of just your team and your patients, now this is your entire community, but also things are going to happen faster. And this is where this, like, what do I actually want? What's actually true for me under all of the facets of me? What's actually true? What actually matters? Where do I want to spend my time and my energy? What space do I want to keep for me? What's deeply important in my world? Okay. This is what I mean by the precision and the refining. What deeply matters to me. It's not sacrificing. It's not giving up to, it's refining with precision what matters most. If everything matters, then nothing matters. Right? So it's choosing in refinement what deeply matters. What I want to speak to now is getting your mind going about some of the communities and some of the weaving and some of the keeping separate that's available. So I talk a lot about weaving your interests, weaving your expressions, weaving what matters to you together. So often I see people think that they need to keep their hiking, their love for hiking separate from their love for eye care, that they need to keep their love for um, women's causes separate from their PT. And none of those things are true. So I speak a lot about combining and a lot about weaving. Also, I want to remind you that as you get to who you truly are, no matter which facet of you is showing up right now, there's a part of you that's true, that's who you actually are. Okay. No matter whether you're mudding in the truck, drinking with your buddies, out tailgating for a whatever, or if you are with your professional community and your most VIP patients and the ones that have your heart the most. So maybe you're doing your deepest, most intense volunteer work. Who are you? What's true for you no matter what? You run into the grocery store to grab a thing. What's true for you no matter what? You're out camping with your kids. You're dealing with somebody's stinky dog. You're whatever your thing is. You're smelling the roses. You're not smelling the roses. You're in your red bottom fancy shoes, or you're in your muddy boots cleaning up the horse stall. Right? No matter what's happening, what's true for you? That's who you are under the thing. Here's what happens. As we start to identify that, yes, you may have your professional side and who you are at work and the facets of you that you choose to give attention to in those places. But as you identify and bring precision to what's true for you under the surface, like what's true for you no matter what, some of that will inherently spill over into the things that you would potentially choose to keep separate from your work, right? That's a choice for you. I can't answer that question. The who you actually are gets to show up more. The different facets of you become purer and become truer and become more true reflections of who you are and what matters to you. Okay. So that is an important thing I wanted to talk about. All right. So expansive leadership is leading you, then leading your team. This is proactive, inclusive, and quirky leadership using those 6 arcs where you're aware, you're leading by example, you're training your team. Yes, the technical components, but also the how you want it to feel. You're empowering, which means that you matter, that your team matters. You're encouraging, you're celebrating them, genuine, generous gratitude, and then redirecting either back to or away from the goal and how you want the tangible goals and how you want it to feel. Okay. So you're in expansive leadership, you're leading you, you're leading your team, but now we're adding the community. So these are twofold. These are your professional communities. These are your social. This is your professional communities. So this is your specialty, subspecialty. Okay. This is mentoring, speaking at associations, at organization events. This is you publishing, training, different things like that that deal with your specialty, subspecialty, or what causes, what messages you've chosen to commit to. Okay. The other piece of that is your region. All right. And this is your referral network, is how I summarize that. But this is, hey, we care about women's health. So let's talk about ortho. Let's talk about urology. Let's talk about cardiology. Let's talk about endocrine. Let's talk about psychology and therapists. Let's get a network together that's speaking about how you can better address women's health. Okay. So when I say leading your community on a regional level, this is what I mean. This is, um, hey, we're all cardiologists, but this one really specializes in the elderly, and this one specializes in young, right? But how can we all work together and come together and benefit cardiology in our region? Bringing those types of groups together. Okay. So, however far you want to bring that out in your region, but regional professional communities. All right. So, those are things to think about, ways that you can expand, places that you can influence. All right. The next is those social communities. So we talked about letting your hobbies be hobbies and be separate. Maybe you're a wine connoisseur. I and my husband have a lot of plants and we sell landscaping cactus and do all of these things on the side. So we're in a lot of plants organizations. Okay. Um, we have reptiles and bees, and my husband does specialty training with one of our dogs. So we're in those organizations. Okay. So maybe those are things that I want to take board positions. I want to take organization for this or that. We often host the trainer and the group at our home for a pool afternoon after a hot day for them training, and then grill out. And so that's a way that I have been involved in that community. Okay. And then your philanthropy. So this is philanthropy that's it's going to have to do with what your values are, with what matters to you, with what your dreams and desires and wishes are, with what your full expression is. Yes. Those are sometimes this is politics, sometimes this is activism, Sometimes this is simply doing what you love to do, volunteering in the community, whatever that looks like. Sometimes this is simply donations of your wealth that you brought in, your financial flow, your prosperous and profitable practice. Now you can turn that around, and potentially this is a subscription or a nonprofit that goes along with your professional capacity that helps people that are unhoused right now access your service. Okay. Leading your community. This happens. You know where your boundaries are. You know what you're willing to do. You know how to say yes to you. So, where people hear this idea and it becomes overwhelming to them, we have gone through pre leadership of saying yes to you. Okay. Of having those conversations of, hey, I would love to be helpful with this organization. This really matters to me. And I'm not available this weekend. Please let me know so I can be involved with the next one. Okay. Yes, but let me take a day of assignment so that I can really be helpful. I'm going to be in and out and involved in a lot of other things between now and then. And this is important to me. I want to be involved. So, what are day of things that I can bring assistance to? Okay. Asking these questions in a way to say yes to you, to have your back. Okay. I'm also in the process of recording the expansive leadership segment of Brilliant. Yep. This is the clarity, confidence, and comfort to build as you develop, lead, and expand your dream practice. It's all in that one program that you can do primarily on your time, but I'm with you alongside of you as you have questions and concerns and clarification. Okay. That is the entry point to working with me. If you have questions or it can help you get organized for that, registered for that, and started with that, let me know. You get to love what you do. You are brilliant and amazing at what you do. You don't realize how exceptional you are. What you do and how you want to do it matters. The effort you put in matters. Whether other people around you are seeing it or not now, I see it. It does. It does matter. It does. How can I help?